The EP Podcast. Heard everywhere podcasts can be found, and always at theeppodcast.com.
I don't know if you've noticed over the last week or so, but the EP Podcast is pumping out a ton of additional content. Those of you watching on YouTube have seen video after video, and then we have the head coach of the Evergreen Park Mustangs on each and every Thursday afternoon, or anytime you want to watch him, to talk about the matchup coming up. Unfortunately, Evergreen Park lost their opener. Head coach Jim Ramazinski, Coach Ram, going to be on again, though. You can get the audio version and video version wherever you are subscribed to this podcast, with the exception of Spotify. Spotify users, if they want to see the video or any videos, have to go to YouTube or one of the other apps. All of this, the podcast you're listening to each and every week that comes out on Tuesdays, all the additional video content, all the extra interviews, it's all brought to you by the First National Bank of Evergreen Park. Over in that iconic building at 95th and Pulaski, they have the Total Access checking account. Free ATMs nationwide, no matter where you use an ATM, no matter what the fee, they put the money back in. That makes them all free. $300 bonus with qualifying activities. You get great mobile banking tools, award-winning customer service. It is a true community bank. They always know you when you walk in the door. If you have a question, they're there to answer it. And when you make a mistake and you overdraft, there's no fee. Only $100 required to open up that account. Again, get into 95th and Pulaski and see them today. The First National Bank of Evergreen Park, member FDIC. The winner of the Battle of Evergreen Park coming up in 15 minutes on this program. Spoke and Vine trying to upset Rosangelas in the final matchup that was voted on all weekend long. Spoke and Vine beat Wolves to get there. Rosangelas took care of TJ Maxx. And again, the weirdest matchup of the entire tournament. Later on this program, we're also going to have Amy Kazin from Evergreen Park Community High School with some really cool things going on over at the high school for the kids and for all of you out in the community. But first, we're going to kick it off with the mayor, Kelly Burke, and village clerk, Kelly Duffy. We hung out with them at the Farmers Market, still going on every Thursday over at EPCHS Field. We'll head out there now on the EP Podcast. We're at the Evergreen Park Farmers Market, and it is a beautiful day, and this market continues to get bigger and bigger, and I have with me the two Kellys that are basically running everything here. The mayor, Kelly Burke, the village clerk, Kelly Duffy. How are you?
Great. I'm fantastic.
Yeah.
Beautiful day.
Before we get into this, tell me a little bit about how you feel about this year's Farmers Market, because I'm going to tell you something right now. It's bigger. There's a lot of people walking in and out of here. There's more tents. I remember when it used to be there was nothing here in the middle of it. Right. You would only go about halfway down. I pulled in today and I had to use one of the last parking spots. You guys are popular.
We added a lot of new vendors, and we also added some community events, a community tent, and then when school was out of session, we had events for the kids. So we had chalk contest, we had rock painting, we had a couple other things, we had a shred. So it's brought more and more people in, and what I notice when I come here, and maybe Kel, you've got the same experience, is you see more people coming in. We have an official counter now. Yes. One of our volunteers, but almost everybody walking out has a bag, or they have something in the bag that they brought. So it's kind of nice to see not only are people coming, but they're buying, so they like what they see.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
And I kind of ask them when they're coming in to find out, what are you here for?
Let's get what you have going on. You've got a lot of things that you want to talk about. I know one of the first things that you want to make sure people know about is that there are no longer vehicle stickers. Yes. I have seen the reminders repeatedly.
You've seen them.
I love
That's
this.
awesome.
Yes, I'm paying attention. But we need to remind other people.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about this.
Most of the residents may not notice that they did not get a renewal in the mail because there are no longer vehicle stickers necessary for Evergreen Park. So you can save that money, go to lunch, spend it at the farmers market. But we're very excited about that, and I think the board voted on that in February. So some people are a little slow on the uptake, but we're very excited to not have to charge you guys for that. So it saves the average household about $70 a year, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I still have the old ones up on the windshield, though. I got to take them down. You know, I'm nostalgic.
You can leave them up.
You can leave them up. You can leave them up.
No penalty.
Whatever you like. But yeah, so that's probably one of our most frequent calls right now in a village hall because people are concerned they didn't get their renewal. So no renewals, no vehicle stickers. You're good to go.
Very good, very good. And then something else going on at Veterans Park?
Yeah, so the remodel is up. And next week we'll be doing a ribbon cutting ceremony. So if you haven't drove by Veterans Park on 97th in California, it is beautiful. There's pickleball there, I hear. So we're going to do a ribbon cutting on September 5th at 3:15. So if you want to check it out, hopefully we have a beautiful day like this too. So.
Do we have a count on how many people are playing pickleball at this point in Evergreen Park? Because it's crazy.
We don't have a count, but it's lots.
Yeah.
You know, we put in 2 new courts at Duffy Park last year. We're renovating the ones that were already at Veterans Park, so we've got 4 dedicated spots, and they're hopping. The rec department's been giving lessons. We're, we've been doing some drop-ins inside at the new Maplewell Center. There's 3 indoor courts there. It continues to develop. You know, we're hoping to get a league or a tournament going this fall or this winter, so everybody stay tuned on that.
It may be coming to the Olympics as well, so obviously your plan is for Evergreen Park to produce yet another Olympian in addition to Abby Murphy, and this time it's going to be a pickleball player.
It might actually be Abby Murphy because
Playing
by
pickleball.
the time she might have aged out of hockey, and then she is a fabulous athlete, and she probably could be a Olympic level pickleball
doubt.
player.
That's awesome.
No doubt, for sure.
All right, we got yoga too. Here at EPCHS?
No, this is going to be at Sexton Park
Okay.
all the September Saturdays, so 9 to 10, I believe. And the mayor is sponsoring free yoga in the park for the whole month in September, and it's on the gazebo. It's beautiful. You know, walk over, check it out.
This is
really
free.
Free.
Free and a great way to start your Saturday on a great note.
Absolutely.
You love the exercise aspect of things. I've noticed this. We got the pickleball. We got the yoga. You did the thing where you were walking with people. Like, your intention is to make sure that this is a healthy suburb.
My children hate to go on vacation with me. I make them do too many things.
Everybody else goes and lays on the beach. Your kids like, kids, we got activities.
Okay.
10 o'clock, we got this. 11 o'clock, we got that.
Well, now they just ignore me, but when they were kids, they hated it.
Right. Yeah. No, we're all very, very excited about that. I know. I'm not a big yogi, whatever they call it. But I like to try because I tend to laugh through it at myself. Last summer when we had that, I did take advantage of it and went in the corner and kind of fell over.
I'd be the person in the back just trying to watch and make sure I'm doing it. Like, follow the leader. Like, what's that move? Right.
Through my leg, like.
Right.
Why doesn't everyone else look like I?
Just as long as there's no cameras to catch what we're doing.
Yeah. Well, and the instructor is Joan Ziglich, who is a village resident, and she is tremendous, and she definitely paces it for people who are newbies, who are just giving it a try. Free class, people come out, maybe they've never done it before. She is awesome. She kind of tells you, okay, if you're new at it, do it this way. Those of you more advanced, you can do this stage. So she makes it very welcoming for people.
That's awesome.
Absolutely.
Very cool.
And the last of the kind of events that we have going on at the end of September, we're going to have an electronic pickup, I'll say. So we used to have where you could call at your door and they would come to your house, but we're going to do a pickup right here at EPCHS on September 28th. So
this is like all the old computers, everything. That's what this is. Because I had something taken.
Thank you.
I had something taken maybe a year or so ago, and you called in advance and you laid it all out.
Right.
But instead, we're going to do a big village-wide,
and
bring it
it's
to.
gonna be at the Evergreen Park Senior Center, not EPCHS.
Yeah. Okay. So they still will come and pick up your household hazardous waste and your electronics if you give Flood Brothers a call. But what we found was people also like a deadline, and so we had one of these in the spring, and we filled up 2 dumpsters, one for the hazardous waste. We actually filled up more than one for the electronic waste and one for the household hazardous waste. So we decided to do it again for fall. People
crazy.
Are cleaning out their garages,
Right.
Yeah, but the idea that you can do it any time of the year through
you can do it any time of the year,
garbage service, but like people are like, no, I want to be at the event and drop it off.
Oh, and they want, some people like a deadline. In their mind, they know, okay, I got to get it done by September 28th.
Yeah, they like to, remind their husbands, Steve, that we can clean out the garage or things like that. But seriously, it's a good excuse. I mean, I think we all have an extra monitor or TV in the basement somewhere that can.
We got a few that used to be part of the studio that we don't use anymore. I'll be here. I'll drop off.
Hazardous waste as well. So, yep. So that's a little bit about what we have going on. And of course, beautiful day for the dog park. You could always stop in the Village Hall if you didn't get a dog tag yet. You want to do that, and maybe join the dog park if you're not already part of our dog park.
Awesome. How's everything going here now as a village clerk? You gotten your feet wet now. You're in there. How are you adjusting to it? You seem extremely busy.
Yes, that is true. No, I mean, I'm enjoying it. I'm learning every day. I love working with our neighbors in the community, so it's just so much fun. I'm almost always willing to try anything. So I feel good about it. I hope I'm doing a good job. I mean, things are going well.
And do we have anything else going on in the village you want to touch on?
We do, and I just want to say I want to give a shout out to Kelly. You know, it's not easy to come in and fill the shoes of somebody who had done the job for 20 plus years. Kathy Aparo, who was just a fantastic clerk, but Kelly's hit the ground running. She's not only doing the training that are required. You know, she's doing a lot of educational opportunities, but she's just got a great way with people, and she's just made for dealing with the public, and it's not always easy. You know, sometimes people come in, they got a head of steam, and she's a problem solver. So it's been great to have her aboard.
Thank you.
Yeah, and you're the alternate Kelly, so if they're looking for her, you can just step right in.
This is not the Kelly you're looking for.
It's all part of your secret evil plan.
Yeah, right. It all worked out.
I appreciate that. I do try. I really do try. So.
Just, we're just trying to keep things easy for, people. If they could just come into Village Hall and say, is Kelly in?
Yeah.
Chances are one of us will
There's
be
a
there.
couple of them.
Yeah,
exactly.
But we do have kind of some fun things going on. One of our we have a very thriving and vibrant business community, right?
Yes,
and we're part of our mission as the village is not only to attract great businesses, but pump them up so that they get the recognition and that people understand that they're here, and so that they stay and thrive. So one thing we did earlier this summer, and maybe you can get a picture of it before the end, is we did these. We came up with a QR code, and put it on lawn signs, and we put them. And we called it Eat, Play, Shop. And when you opened up the QR code, it gave all the places in the village where you could eat, play, and shop. And so we put those up at the parks, when folks are here for tournaments, the softball tournament, the disc golf tournaments, people at the dog park. If they see it, they can open it up, and then it gives them an idea of, hey, we've got a Chipotle, we've got Pappy's, we've got Macy's, whatever the place is. So it's been very successful. We've been able to track the visits, to the QR code through that. So our communications folks have done that, and we've been very happy. Kind of have refigured where the lawn signs go to kind of get the maximum exposure. So a little bit of work in progress, but obviously village residents are more than welcome to open that up. But it's also been great for our visitors who might not know what we have in town. So that's been cool. So then this is our big thing.
Yeah, I know.
It's
exciting.
An EP podcast exclusive. So as Kelly mentioned, because we've had pretty robust sales tax receipts, we felt that it would be a good thing to not do village stickers anymore, because as time has gone on, and the police have more they have more technology where they can just look up where a car is registered. The village sticker wasn't really serving a municipal purpose. And we thought, hey, we could save folks an average of $70 per household. So we decided to go ahead and do that. But, and the reception's been great. Who doesn't want to save $70? But one of the questions that we would always get around sticker time is, hey, do you have those EP bumper stickers anymore?
I know.
And we had not had them for many years. So we put our brains together, and we came up with an idea to bring back the EP bumper sticker with a little bit of a twist.
Okay.
And I'm going to hold this up. I'm
going to bring it up to the camera while you talk.
It's called, well, those are my notes, so you might have to come back with them at some point. So we call it Love Where You Live, and it's a revamp of the EP bumper sticker with a heart. But we are giving these away, but it's a little bit of a contest. So what we'd like to do is give these away, but you have to do a little work with your Evergreen business community for this. So you choose a minimum, spend $40 from at least 3 categories. You can go over, but at least $40. The categories are groceries, chain restaurant or big box store, professional services, so accounting, insurance, doctors, physical therapy, gym, fitness or sports classes, a local restaurant, so a non-chain, locally owned restaurant, a florist or gift shop, clothing or uniform store, hair, nail salon, spa or barbershop shop, and a coffee, donut shop or bakery. So you get receipts showing that you spent from those three.
I think I did that this week.
Exactly. It's a no-brainer.
I think I already got my receipt somewhere in the car.
And you bring those in, and we will give you a beautiful bumper sticker.
Yes.
The Heart EP bumper sticker. So I'm expecting to see those sprouting up all over town. Great way. We're going to interact, coordinate with the businesses so they can use it in their efforts and their social media. We're going to do it. For the contest, so to speak, will start September 3rd. The stickers won't be available till September 9th, but you can start collecting your receipts September 3rd.
Okay, so start collecting your receipts.
2 per household.
Okay, start collecting your receipts.
ID required.
ID required to prove you're from Evergreen Park, right?
Yes.
And then if you're spending money in Evergreen, you're getting the sticker.
Exactly.
It's not a large amount of money.
It
We're
is
all
not.
basically already spending this in Evergreen Park.
Yeah.
At least you should be, because there are plenty of amazing restaurants and stores and shops, and the plaza is thriving. There's so much going on, and you really do have so many different places that fall under each and every one of those categories. It should not be hard for people.
I mean, we're trying to make it easy to keep the green and evergreen.
Yeah.
Support our local businesses, and then, show your local love. I don't know about you, but it's kind of funny when you're driving down 294, the Dan Ryan, and you see you're approaching somebody, you're like, hey, they've got that sticker, and then you pull up a little faster to see if you know the person and give a little wave.
I do it with the EP podcast magnets.
Yes,
I'm driving down 294. I'm like, there's a listener. And then I'm chasing them. And then I realize that I look crazy, so I stop.
Yeah.
It wasn't me chasing you the other day.
So we'll have more info on this as we roll it out on our website, and generally you can come into Village Hall to get these, but we get it. Not everybody is able to come into Village Hall, so we'll be having some pop-ups, like at Oktoberfest. We will be there with the stickers, and we'll probably have some pop-ups at Farmers Market and maybe some other community events, and those will be announced as we figure out what to do. We'll probably, now that I'm thinking about it, we'll probably do it at the electronic waste and hazardous household waste.
They're going to be
drop-off.
everywhere, folks.
We'll be
They're gonna
everywhere. There will be no reason why you can't get the sticker. It's going to be really fun. Hopefully, the businesses will really take it to heart and get involved. And I think it's going to be fun, and it's kind of cute.
I think it's awesome. It's really cool. I can't wait to get mine on the back of my car. And again, this farmers market growing, really cool.
Yes,
I mean, there's so
awesome,
much
isn't
going
it?
on. As soon as we're done, I'm going to get myself a breakfast burrito or something like that.
Absolutely.
and I appreciate, again, both of you joining me today at the farmers market.
Sure.
Farmers market goes until the end of October. We're going to see everybody out at Oktoberfest. I believe that's October 5th, if I'm not right.
Yes.
Yeah, October the
Yes.
5th. I'll be out there. Are we doing Stein hoisting again, Mayor?
Stein hoisting with prizes.
With prizes this year. That's awesome. The mayor, Kelly Burke, the village clerk, Kelly Duffy. We will see you soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chris.
Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it.
Building relationships, supporting the community, and service. These are the things that Country Financial stands for. They're more than just an office you may pass by as you drive through Evergreen Park. They're neighbors who lend a helping hand and support the fabric of your community, including charitable organizations, sports, financial education, and civic organizations. And since Country is already your neighbor, they want to get together and chat. Call your local Country Financial representative, Mike Thauer, today at 708-425-1559 to talk about the things that are important to you and how he can help you protect them. It is now time to announce the winner of the Battle of Evergreen Park. It took a month, 32 entrants, many of them food establishments. Not all of them this year, though. Really interesting to see how the brackets all shook out. Some incredible spots in Evergreen Park advanced very far into the tournament. And in the end, the defending champion, Rosangelas, sat there waiting for the challenger on the other side, and it was Spoken Vine. The wine bar and bottle shop over at 95th and Kedzie, the upstart. Been around for about a year. You always see us out there with Frank Murray each and every month going over what's going on at the library, trying all the wines and the food. Another reason to go to the YouTube channel, you can see it all. They worked social media during this contest. You could see it all weekend long. A determined Spoken Vine trying to go up against the juggernaut and defending champion Rosangelas. And in the end, the winner had only 51.6%. So close. And we have a new champion. Congratulations to Spoke and Vine Wine Bar and Bottle Shop. Folks, some of it is because they worked like crazy promoting their vote online. Some of it is because they're really good. And I think they're getting one heck of a following here in Evergreen Park. So the winner of the Battle of Evergreen Park for 2024, we have a new champion, Spoke and Vine Wine Bar and Bottle Shop, northeast corner of 95th and Kedzie. Congratulations to them. Can't wait when we see them next to talk about it. And they sponsor your word on the street, which starts right now. Honestly, if you don't know what the fuss is about, if you're wondering about this place, this restaurant, this wine bar, this meeting place, this trendy spot in Evergreen Park, go to spokenvinewines.com. We'll see you out there, the winners of the Battle of Evergreen Park. First thing in the word on the street, the 12th annual Most Holy Redeemer Barbecue Bash taking place on Saturday, September the 7th, coming up right now this week. The gates are opening up to the public at 5 p.m. Yours truly, one of the judges. After I judge the ribs, along with all the other distinguished judges, you can walk in, $30 a person for all you can eat ribs, sides, and everything else the cooking teams whip up. It's a BYOB event, and always one of the bigger events of the year right along 95th Street at Most Holy Redeemer. We'll see you out there on Saturday. Boys and girls interested in instructional basketball, Lil Mustangs basketball kicks off on Sunday, September the 8th, going through the middle of October. It's for ages 5 and 6 and also ages 7 to 8. $60 for 6 weeks, and head basketball coach Jim Sexton, JV coach Pat Hogan, several of the varsity players focusing on skills and drills. It'll be held over at the EP High School Sports Complex at 2700 West 91st Street. For more information, 708-229-3373. The rec department's also teaching Irish dance. Mary McQuillan, Midwest champion dancer of Blackbird Academy, running an Irish dance class on Thursdays, kicking off on September the 19th, going through mid-December. For ages 4 and up, $100 for 10 weeks of instruction, held at the Community Center, 3450 West 97th Street. And as far as I've been notified, CSX should have opened up the tracks now. You should be able to drive up and down 95th Street. And those of you in the neighborhoods that have been suffering because of all the extra traffic moving around, our long nightmare is over until the railroad just decides to do something else again that nobody can control because they're the railroad. Everybody's back to school. They're really busy over at Evergreen Park Community High School. Remember, each and every Friday, actually coming out on Thursday afternoons, you're getting head coach Jim Ramazinski, Coach Ram, talking about the Mustangs and their football team and their season, and you can find that on the normal feed. And then we have Amy Kazin here, who's an old friend of the show, maybe one of the originals that came over from the high school when this show started 6 years ago. This you may be in your double-digit appearances. How are you, Amy?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. How was your summer?
It was great.
Ready for school again? You're back into the swing of things. What is that like the first couple of weeks? Because, you know, you've got a group coming in that's new, and you got a bunch of returning kids, and as they get older, they start to feel a little bit cockier. All of a sudden, they're running the school. Like, what is that adjustment like with the students when they get back?
Well, we've been back in for 3 weeks already, so it feels like we're just in a routine right now. I think the big focus at the beginning of the year is just making sure everybody feels like they're at home, making sure all the teachers have what they need to do what they need to do, and just making sure the kids are excited to come to school. We run co-curricular fairs for all the classes in the first week of school so that they can check out ways that they can get involved. We had music go on the first day of school. The freshmen got to go out on freshman orientation day and go outside in the middle of the day and have a free lunch, and we had inflatables and games set up and stuff so they could just kind of socialize and see folks that maybe they hadn't seen since the end of the school year.
That's awesome. We're going to talk about how September really is a ramp up to homecoming and a bunch of events right at the beginning of October. But before we get into that, you were telling me before we started about some new pass that you have, which I think is brilliant.
Sure. So the program is 5-star. We actually piloted last year, but now we're using it for hall passes as well. It's designed to incentivize student engagement in such a way that kids get points for being involved in athletics or activities. They also get points for going to events at school. Like we had a really good crowd at the volleyball game this week, and the kids could scan in with their phone and get points just for showing up and being a fan. And then once a month, they have an opportunity to cash in those points for a variety of prizes. Could be just a bag of chips or a candy bar. Could be a raffle for AirPods or a Bluetooth speaker. Last year, we gave away 5 free prom tickets to kids in a raffle who had taken the time to engage and just get involved with the school, because it's a key to student success, and we want them to feel at home. And the best memories from high school, honestly, don't usually come from the classroom. They come from watching that homecoming game where they squeaked it out by 3, or by being involved in that awesome performance that was sold out.
I think it's a really interesting idea. Like, I know some people's first reaction might be, well, we got to incentivize these kids to go to high school games and like be kids. But when you think about what it is like right now, and I've got 2 teenagers. Well, one of them now is 18 and off at the University of Illinois. And then I got the other guy, who's a junior in high school. But I mean, I have 2 of my 3 are at that age. And the way that they can communicate with each other through their devices when they play video games. Like I'll look at my son and I'll be like, aren't you going to go hang out with your friends? He's like, I'm with 6 of them right now, Dad. Like if I went and sat in the living room with them and played video games, there wouldn't be enough controllers. This is the only way all 6 of us can play. So this is how we interact. And, they get their scores instantly. They can see what's going on with the team instantly. And then suddenly you don't need to go socialize at events. You don't need to attend it. And you start to lose that part of like the student body going and doing things. So I think this is kind of cool to kind of incentivize them just a little bit. Like, hey, get in here, see each other face to face.
I agree. My son is the same way. He interacts with friends, playing games at home. And we've had the same conversation, but he's right. It is a different way to socialize. This does get him out and just gives him that extra push to come and be involved in the school culture. We want him to feel like school is a second home for them. We want them to feel comfortable, and we want them to feel like they're part of Mustang Nation.
September is like the gear up for the big date at the beginning of October, which is homecoming. I think you have one home game before that for your football team, but tell me what's going to be happening in the days leading up to it and what's happening for around that homecoming week.
Sure. It's one of the best weeks of the year. It's where school spirit is just at an all-time high. This year it falls in the week that crosses September into October. So the homecoming game is actually on October 4th. And there's a lot of traditional events that'll happen that engage our student body. We have window decorating, we do hall decks, we do a full day of Olympics that includes both athletic and non-athletic activities, trivia and musical chairs and things like that, to dodgeball, to horse, and anything like that. The 2 things that are really cool for the community to get involved in, though, because we are the community high school and we want folks to come and celebrate with us. Our annual parade is this year going to be on the Thursday the 3rd instead of Friday the 4th. Taking the same route over in the Southwest Quadrant, and we'll have lots of information.
I miss the original route because it used to come right by my house.
I know.
It used to be right by my house, Amy.
I know.
It was one of those things where I'd just be walking along in the front yard or sitting in my house or doing something, and I'd start hearing the drums. I'd be like, the parade's coming! And I'd usher my kids out. It's not that far away from the house. I'm not complaining too much.
The village is very gracious in helping us to make sure that our kids are safe on the parade route. And so our collaboration with them is very important. So they help to determine what the safest route is in the village.
Yeah, I mean, where you're at now is probably a little bit safer.
Yep.
I don't know if you've noticed 99th Street gets a little hectic now.
I have noticed that. Very definitely so.
I almost didn't make it to this interview because I was in Beverly. My cousin is getting married to a guy who's got a barbershop. I'll give him a quick mention. Bricktop Barbershop. Okay. He's over at 99th in Beverly by the railroad tracks. And so I was getting a haircut and I should have had no problem getting back here. and you've got CSX with everything closed on 95th. There's something going on over at 103rd, and everybody's converging at 99th in California to try to get around it. And what do they have at 99th in California? There's an entire crew out there today with an electrical pole down, digging on the corner. I mean, it was the craziest thing to get down the block. It should have taken me 10 minutes. It took me 30, and I was lucky to make it to the interview. So yes, 99th is a little bit crazy.
Thanks for the heads up. I won't go that way.
Don't go that way. Don't go that way. Like, spend a few days away from that area. But you know, you're listing all these things that are going on for homecoming. I would think you don't have to do too much with the pass with that. I feel like those kids are always really involved in that week.
They do still get points for showing up every day. They get points for participating in spirit days that we do during school and things like that. But usually it's not hard. So we have the parade on Thursday, and that'll step off at 3:30. And again, all of this will be out on social media too. So we want to make sure that folks are following the school on social media for all those reminders. But the new thing that we have for the community is actually a fan fest on Friday on game day that's going to happen from 4:30 to 6:30, so before the varsity game. And we're looking for that kind of college fan fest experience where we're going to fill Mayor Sexton Drive, which is that driveway on the west side of the softball field, with a bunch of different activities that are for all ages. We'll have a dunk tank. We'll have a couple of inflatables. We'll have some arts and crafts. We'll have prizes and raffles and food vendors and things like that. So it really gives you kind of that college pregame experience before folks go into the varsity game.
And this is for everybody.
This isn't
a school thing. This is a pregame festival, community festival. Come on out and you know, bring the kids and bring yourself and get ready for game day.
Correct. Things for little kids, for big kids, for young at heart, anybody that wants to come out and just come to the grounds and come celebrate homecoming with us.
The grounds over there are really neat now. I mean, like the way that they have that all set up with the new baseball diamond and where the field is and everything else like that. I mean, you've been at the school for a while. I mean, when you look at what's changed over the last couple of years, it must be just mind-boggling to you. Like it really is a beautiful campus now. Like you used to just refer to it as the high school. Now it's a campus, I would call it.
It very definitely is. And all of the facilities enhancements, we've been very, very fortunate that we are supported by the taxpayers that let us keep the grounds, and our administration and our board have worked very, very hard to really make it a marquee experience for the kids. This year they replaced the turf, and we've got a video scoreboard that'll have ads and instant replays and player cards and things like that. So it's definitely worth coming out to see.
And then how quick do you start moving towards the next class that could be coming onto that campus? Because it starts pretty early now, doesn't it?
It does. The fall season is when our junior high age kids, our 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, and their families are starting to think about where they're going to go to high school. And so Coach Ram also serves as our recruiting coordinator over at the school. And so it's a really busy time of year for him, obviously. But we already have meet and greets and shadow days already set throughout the fall, where your meet and greet is an evening where the parents can come in with their kids, take a tour of the building, ask questions, learn about the programs that we have. And our shadow days offer the kids an opportunity to come in and spend a day at Evergreen Park High School, shadow a student schedule, and just be part of the school culture for a day. One of those actually falls on homecoming game day on October 4th.
That's the day to shadow kids.
I'm thinking that one's going to fill up pretty quickly. We have a certain local news broadcast that's going to come out and do a segment early in the morning on game day, and then they'll have all of the craziness of the pep rally and then fan fest afterwards and everything. So I think that one's probably going to fill up pretty quickly. And then we gear up toward a 7th and 8th grade open house that happens in November, but I'm sure Coach Ram will talk about that later in the fall.
You know, that's one of the things I always remember. It's really weird when you think back on your life. I'm 47 years old, and I can still remember my walkthrough days. I can still remember my shadow days because, like, as a kid, that was such a big deal to walk into the high school. You know, I mean, I can remember the high schools I didn't go to. Like I walked through a couple different high schools. I remember, and I was trying them all out. And I can still vividly picture, like, you know, all of a sudden, here's like this older kid. You know, you introduce yourself to him. You're just trying not to screw up. You're kind of walking around. You look at all the cool stuff. You're like, holy cow, I'm a big kid now. Like, I can't wait to get here. That's got to be so much fun to walk around the hallway on those shadow days and see those kids.
Well, and it's so important. It's just like kids who are looking for colleges. Yeah. Right? It's just like that senior that's looking for college. You can't get the vibe of the school from a website. You can't get it from a virtual tour. You can't get it from what somebody else tells you. You have to actually physically be in the space and feel it. And for these middle school age kids, it's really the same thing. If they're able to actually walk a mile in a Mustang's shoes, we think that they're going to find that it's going to be where they're going to want to be.
You can find out about all this stuff on the website.
Absolutely.
I'm really sure by the way, I don't know if anybody's ever noticed this, because I look through all the different web addresses. You guys have the website that's just as evergreenpark.org.
Correct.
Which is amazing to me.
Yep.
The village doesn't have it. The high school has it.
Yep.
It's really easy to remember. If you want to know what's going on at your community high school where they want to see you, they want to see you at the football games, they want to see you at the fan fest that's happening this year, they want your kids to come do the walkthroughs and come get a tour and all that stuff, it's very easy to remember, evergreenpark.org, and Amy Kazin does an awful lot of good work over there, and we're always happy to see you.
Thanks so much.
It's the EP Podcast, all things Evergreen Park. It's the EP Podcast, Evergreen Park.